Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm gonna check my live stream status real quick, make sure I'm on. Sometimes this does screw up with the DJI Osmo 3. Sorry, started a little bit late tonight. You know, it's Friday, it's summer, people get busy. I was busy today. Not too busy, but I did have a lot to do with the kids and all that. Let's see if I'm live. All right, looking pretty good. Awesome. You know, I gotta get a camera set up on my 3D printer. I gotta figure out how I could do that. I'd have to use some sort of streaming software to be able to do that. What's this engage? Oh, yeah. Start a poll. I never do those things. I should. What could I do? What sort of poll could I do? How about this? I got one. Oh, that's just, I don't want yes or no. Let's see here. Add option, okay. Oh no, you can't do more than that. Maybe I should play around with this and try to figure it out. All things to learn, I guess. What's this thing? Start Q&A. That doesn't look very fun. Just gotta check my channel, make sure it looks good. Yeah, it looks like I'm live. I finally got a new photo up too. I've been lazy about that. I just keep forgetting to scroll down when you start with these live streams, you gotta scroll down and change the thumbnail and all that. Wait for a few people to get on, then we'll chat it up. I'll show you what I've been doing this week. As far as YouTube performance, so-so, I would say. It's kind of a, I don't know, I guess a lame week with YouTube. Some weeks are up, some weeks are down, you know. But this was an okay week. I had two videos. One of them, they both got around 400 views, which I thought it's pretty decent. Some of them, you know, if you get under like 100, that's kind of a real disappointing week. But 400, yeah, I'll take it. Ideally, I'd like to have two videos be over 1,000 views a week, but you know, I don't really cater to the algorithm all the time. I kind of just record what I feel like I want to record, you know. So, looks like there's one person in here. We'll see if anyone else shows up. I know it's Friday in the summer, Friday nights, you know. People are busy. People are doing things with family and friends. Probably, I do have some work to do in the workshop, so I'll probably head over there pretty soon. I might actually just go over there right now. I need to get a PD charger for that workshop because I've got this whole Mac brick charger, which is really annoying. You gotta like run the cable, and I've only got an outlet like over on this far wall. And whoever finished this basement should have put an outlet there, should have put an outlet there. There's one on that wall, but it's like really far away. It's really annoying. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start maybe hanging out in the workshop. So, not sure who will show up tonight, but that's okay. Go ahead and start moving over there a little bit. I do need to start a print, so I'll probably start a print here pretty soon. Squeeze through my tight little opening here. All right, let's stick this. You know, I guess I could just get, you know, I didn't really think of that. I probably should just get this computer set up over here, and then that way I've got one out there. If I feel like hanging out there, probably hang out in here mostly. So Need to probably, let's see. You know, I need to make a new feature for my wall plates because I've got one right here. That would be perfect. Yeah, well, I can actually just set it right here on the shelf. This is one of my old versions of the wall plates, but hey. Oh, it's the DJ. You know what? I'm going to install one of my wall plates here because it's deeper and it'll work. So let's do that real quick. I don't need this laptop near me. All right, let's just move this thing. Got such a tight squeeze here. All right, so let's see here. Which one do I want to install? Where did I put my wall plates? I printed these new ones. Oh, here they are. Here they are. I'll just do one of these white ones. Oh, that's a Decora. I don't think I have a Decora printed. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I'll just use this one. I got this black Decora with white screws and a white outlet. That's fine. I'm not concerned about it. And then I can stick this right on it. Yeah, this will work. All right, you guys can watch me install this bad boy. All right, I did get a new toy for the workshop. I got a cheap $30 vacuum from Myers. Just one of these little, I think you can take it apart down here and it becomes a hand vac, but it's kind of nice for you know, vacuuming all the plastic nards from this workshop, because I'm always taking off supports and brim and just plastic nards always going off everywhere. So yeah, let's go ahead and change this one out. This is an older unit. I'm just going to toss it. All right, here we go. How's everyone's Friday going? How did everyone's week go? Let me know in the comments. I had kind of like a semi-stressful week. I wouldn't say stressful. I would say it was more just a lot on my mind, you know. I think stressful is a strong word sometimes. Yeah, this will work. I finally shipped one of these fire retardant wall plates today to a customer. It's not as glossy of a black like I would like, but you know, it's safe. That's all that matters. I need a longer screwdriver for this. But I am working on a glossier black fire retardant potential material. I don't have it yet, but I'm trying to print in polycarbonate, if anyone's ever done that. It is a pain to work with. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that'll work. That's cool. All right, so now we got our new wall plate there, and now I can just, let's see if the Osmo 3 will hold up on it. Should. Yeah, I think that works. See, the tray is a little angled. It's designed for phones, but it is sticking. It is staying up there, so that's good. All right, now I'm going to pull up the YouTube chat here on my desktop computer because it's a lot easier to deal with. All right. All right, here we go. You know what I get sick of? Is anytime you open up software, whether it's your browser or an app, there's always a billion little pop-ups. Like, oh, here's something new, here's something new, and then you got to close them all down. It's like, no, I just want to use the software, you know? It's one of those things. It's been annoying me. Anytime you use an app, like you start up an app, you got to close down like 50,000 different bubbles. I was dealing with it the other day with my wife's, some app she had, and I was like, I can't even use this thing. It was annoying. All right, let's see here. Go to YouTube Studio. Go to Live. I think I just click on it. There we go. I gotta mute this probably. Yeah. There. I build capture. Hello, Chris from here in Florida. All right. That's cool. Florida? How's the weather down there? It's probably pretty warm, huh? I can imagine. It's been a while since I've been down to Florida. Especially this time of year, June. Yeah, it's hot. I used to go down there for a show called Infocom down at the Orlando Convention Center in June, and it was always hot and muggy and just annoying in general. But it's beautiful there in the winter usually. So, hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing? Hey, Dan, you'd be proud. My wife ordered a light box. Got here Wednesday. Nice, dude. So you're taking better photography of your products and maybe doing some of that AI background stuff, you know, play around with it. That's awesome, man. Get all the angles and, you know, I don't know, you know, just go online, go on YouTube videos and learn how to do lightbox type of photography. I need to do better at mine, to be honest. Probably look at more YouTube videos on it. I'm sure I could always get better too. I need to do better at product photography, totally. Hot and humid. How do you have the OP3 configured to stream wirelessly? Oh, the app. So here's what I've had to do is you got to download the DJI Mimo, and then in YouTube Live, you just got to configure a stream, and then you got to type in, there's 3 options on the Osmo 3. You can either do like Facebook, YouTube, or what is it, live stream, I think, or the third, RTMP stream. You got to pick the third one down and then type in your details manually, if I remember right. You got to connect to a Wi-Fi. I had to move a Wi-Fi, I have like a mesh network. I had to move a mesh unit here in my workshop, a little white thing up top on that half rack up there. And so I had to do that. And then because this DJI Osmo, it doesn't go very far. Even through walls, it's pretty bad. The stream will get real choppy. So you definitely got to be close to your Wi-Fi for the DJI. But yeah, I'm sure there's probably some YouTube you know, tutorials on how to set it up, but you do have to use the app. But once you get the DJI connected on the live stream, like here, I'll just show you what it looks like. All right, it says live stream in progress, but eventually, sometimes it'll like, maybe the app will even crash, or your phone might die, and it'll still be running on the DJI as long as you don't end the camera going. So anyways, it seems to work out pretty decent. I do like the wireless lapel mic, you know. See, it looks like if it's touching, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, sorry about the shakiness. There we go. I got to get this set up. I'm going to make a module for my DJI. I might make it similar, like, because I've got this this Ulanzi little clip thing. It's like a, you know, you can attach it, detach it from a tripod. But maybe, yeah, you know what I need to do is, this is what I'm going to do, guys. So this is a standard tripod, you know, threaded. I don't know what bolt this is. I think I'm going to make a module with the standard tripod bolt sticking up. That way I could put this Ulanzi on it, and then I could clip on and off my DJI Osmo. Yeah, I think that's going to be my next little project I'm going to model out. That'll be a fun one. We'll see. So if you're new here, I build, Chris, sorry, I want to use your name. I don't know if you see my videos or anything, but if you're new here, I build these these wall plates right here, like this electrical outlet wall plate with a shelf. It's kind of a weird product. Some people down it, but other people buy it. So, but I make these modules. This is a test print I'll talk to you about. I make these modules. Here, let me go over here and grab one. That just attach to the front. So there's like a bunch of little slots there. You can kind of see them in the back of the shelf. And so then I just attach the module just like that. So I might just make one for that little tripod thing. It'd be kind of nice. Yeah, the Ulanzi Quick Connects. Yeah, they're awesome, man. These quick disconnect. It's great. I only have one though. I clicked on an affiliate link of another YouTuber, and I need to buy a few more. Standard tripod thread is, yeah, 1/4-20. Yeah, I'm sure with, I'd have to figure out, I definitely would buy just the bolt itself, and then somehow put it into the model, the actual piece of plastic. I'd try to figure out how to mount it, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll just do the work in the model and figure out where to place it. I don't know. I could like print it inside the print. That'd be kind of interesting. I've never done that yet. I haven't paused a print to put in something. But I think with the magnets you can do, because you can like pause it at the top layer of the magnet, put the magnet in, and then print on top of it. But with a bolt sticking out, I don't think that's feasible. But anyways, I'll figure out a way to incorporate it. That'd be kind of a fun project. I'm going to go and grab my tea real quick. I think I am going to hang out in here. I'm going to start two prints. I'm also going to take one off the bed here. And I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I've been doing this week. What I've been experimenting with and trying to. Oh, my camera's going crazy. Come on, DJI. Sometimes it kind of has a mind of its own. So. All right. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, it's working fine. Don't fall. So, first thing I did was, I remodeled my shelf. I've got an old one. I don't know where they are. But this suction cup shelf, I added some more depth to it. Maybe like, probably almost an inch. Yeah, an inch. That's what I added to the wall plates from customer feedback. I just hadn't had time to get back to these shelves. So I added an inch depth on this. This is in a few carts on Etsy, but nobody's bought it. I need to add more value, more depth in these modules. It's got these modules on it. So, but these are all in PLA, real simple to print. And I did print one in wood fiber PLA. I think it's back here, yeah. This is rosewood from Bamboo Lab. I think it's called rosewood, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Rosewood, was it? Yes, rosewood. I did it with a 0.6 nozzle. I think it turned out pretty decent. It's got some rough spots here. And this is just my first print, and it might have been because it's with the 0.6 nozzle. With this one at a 0.4, this is silky smooth, like there's no rough feeling here, but here it's definitely feels rough. I probably have to fine tune the top layer here, maybe add a more underlayment layers or underlayer layers that are tighter. I've had to do this with polycarbonate this week. I had very similar kind of rough feeling with polycarbonate this week. I mean, overall, it does feel like feels like more texture than your typical PLA. I didn't smell any wood fibers, but I have the fans and the exhaust system, so that's probably why. But I've heard that people say they can smell the wood kind of burning as their PLA is melting, so kind of fun. It's interesting. I've got 4 other ones. I'll test them out. I need to probably do, I would like to see if I could get this smooth. I might do some test prints and see how, see what's going on here. Try to optimize it. So, but yeah, kind of a fun little print. But I am going to print right now. I think I have enough pink. I'm going to print the other colors for this this shelf because I need to take new product photography. Yeah, I don't like the photography I have for it. This was an early product. I think it was the first one I did, and you know, I've just kind of let it go to the wayside and not really put too much focus on it. So yeah, 0.6 is right. A buddy of mine clogged his 0.4 nozzle with wood filament. Yeah, that's what I heard from on this live stream. Somebody told me to, might have been you, I don't know, not to use a 0.4. So I took that advice and I did not even attempt it. I don't want a clogged nozzle with wood filament. And to be honest, it's like, do I really even want to experiment with it? I guess it's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not like at a capacity issue with my printers. So if like I bust one at a 0.6 nozzle, I can easily get another 0.6 nozzle. However, now I might be using 0.6 nozzles full time for this new polycarbonate fire retardant material. We're going to see right here. I'm going to see if this even worked. Did you need to dry the wood PLA? I didn't dry it. I mean, there was no strings on this. No issues whatsoever. It printed really good. It's just this one top layer. I think it just has to do with the prints, the settings in the slicer, I suspect. Probably something to do with that. Other than that, everything printed really good. All the rest of it printed really well. So, would I sell this? I mean, it doesn't look like a wood product. So I could probably just print this in brown PLA and it'd be probably the same thing. I mean, it's probably got a little more texture than probably brown PLA, but I don't know if I would consider selling this. But it's fun to print, fun to experiment. I like trying new filaments. That's kind of one of my things that I think is fun about 3D printing is trying new filaments, you know. So I'm going to get, geez, my camera's doing some weird stuff tonight. All right, I'm going to see how this print turned out. So this is polycarbonate black from Anycubic? Yeah, Anycubic. I have white as well. I've been experimenting with white and black. And so I've got 20 millimeters of brim here at a 0. So it's like connected to the edges, because if you've never done polycarbonate, it warps. It shrinks pretty good. Now this one doesn't shrink as much because it's real thin. And what I'm doing is I'm separating the plate from the shelf. So, and the reason I'm doing this is because if I print this thing, like, I don't know, yeah, normally I print these, no, not this one. So I print these guys on like this, right? But with polycarbonate, it warps so much because I don't have a heated chamber. I mean, it warps almost a ½ inch up, and it's just like, you know, you can't use that. This one was 2 parts, and I added 2 M3 screws, 2 sets, and I printed this kind of like, I mean, the plate's real easy to print, but the shelf did warp as well. You can kind of see it a little bit, maybe. Like I printed it like this, and so it lifted off the bed on the corners a little bit. But I could still sell this. This is not bad. It doesn't affect the modules. You can barely see it, but I'm still optimizing. I'm still like working through this process. So what I'm doing with, oops, wrong way. With this, yeah, this brim, this is the only painful part about this. So I printed the front of the plate face down on the plate. I printed a white one earlier. I don't know where it is, but it turned out pretty decent, actually. Now, I'm not an expert at taking this brim off, but it is kind of a pain at 0. Doesn't look like it cuts into the face of the plate. We'll see. It's interesting. I don't know if I'm going to go with this, but I'm just experimenting, you know. See how this works. This is why I got that vacuum, because I'm constantly pulling off plastic and it gets everywhere, and then it's on my socks, and then I traipse it all through the house, and I don't really want it in my house. What about you guys? You guys ever print with polycarbonate? It's kind of a crazy material to print with, to be honest. Let's see here. Just checking the chat here, sorry. Oops. Okay, cool. I like to keep up with the chat, you know. So, yeah, this is definitely interesting. Having the bottom, or the plate side, see how this looks after I get all this off. Now the post-processing is definitely kind of tricky with this. Let's see here. This stuff is definitely very hard and kind of sharp too. Like, you can definitely cut yourself on this polycarbonate if you're not careful. If you get a little sharp edge, you know. There we go. Again, these are just test prints. This is not fire retardant polycarbonate. I don't know if I... Yeah, there's a... I don't know if I like this. Gonna have to figure this out. It's a challenge of printing with engineering material. There's all these challenges to it. I'll show you what the problem is. The white is fine. The white turns out fine, I think. But the problem is like, so with this wall plate, you kind of see there, it's kind of it's glossy, but then it's real shiny on these edges. I don't know how it'll look with this. Let's see here. I don't know, it's not bad. Maybe that'll work. Maybe. I gotta look at it some more, you know. But basically I've got a whole little jar of little M3 screws. Now the only thing that is kind of a pain about it is after I screw it, I still need to glue, super glue, just this little bead here, a real small bead, because there is a tiny gap in the middle here. I mean, nothing's gonna fall through it, but you know, I want it to be a solid piece. So I'm just experimenting. I had a real tough time. I'll show you guys. I had a real tough time with a top layer here because the shelf has to be printed like this. Otherwise, if I try any other angle, it just warps. I need a heated chamber, probably an H2C eventually, but I can print it like this without there's a tiny bit of warp, a very tiny amount, which I don't think is going to affect anything, to be honest. I think these screws will screw in just fine. But here was like a little test print I made with like the 2 screws, trying to get it dialed in earlier. But here, let me look at the chat here. Chris says, I've only used PLA so far. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I mean, to be honest, I kind of wish I was just making a product with PLA. But these things are selling. I had like just 3 favorites like in the last hour. So they're in like 10, 15 carts right now. So it's like, I ought to just keep up with it and try to perfect this technology, not technology, but 3D prints essentially. But yeah, PLA is great. I love printing with it. Brent says 95% of the time ABS. Okay. I am doing ABS now because I can't get fire retardant in natural or almond color, and the only one I can find is ABS from Sunlu, and it prints perfectly fine. Prints great actually, and it's less material too. Like different materials, depending on how the slicer operates with them, it's using up less filament, like only 85 grams for one of these solo wall plates, so that's pretty nice. How does the polycarbonate compare to ABS in terms of strength and printing nuances? Polycarbonate, at least in my opinion, feels a lot stronger than ABS. ABS, it's definitely better than PLA as far as strength and even other properties, obviously, but that polycarbonate, man, it is strong. Like, if you try to break this thing in half, you're going to get a lot of shrapnel in your face and probably some kickback because it's strong. Yeah, you're not going to break it easily. ABS is similar, though. I think it's fairly strong. PLA, though, you will bust that pretty decent. It just depends, like, how you print it, how you slice it. ABS is easier to print than polycarbonate. I've had a lot more trouble with the polycarbonate. I can't print the configuration like I can with ABS with polycarbonate. It's impossible. It'll just warp, like bye-bye. Now, if I went and got a chamber heater, I've been looking for one for the P2S, but I'm not seeing really anything out there, and I don't know if everything in there is really rated for 65 degrees C. So I don't know if I want to screw up my P2S. I'd rather just buy an H2C or an H series printer to appropriately heat it to 65 degrees. And then that way it wouldn't warp, hopefully. So we'll see. Definitely, if you're going to do polycarbonate, start with small, tiny prints. Play around with it. Definitely use brim. If your print gets anything probably bigger than, you know, like the bottom, like right here, anything taller than this is going to start to warp. It's going to start pulling the corners off of the build plate. Now, there's lots of videos out there on how to prevent this warping. You can put like little ripples on the side. You can do like little cutouts in the model, like internally in the product, because you're dealing with contraction, right? Let me think. Expansion, contraction. I always get this screwed up. Yeah, you're contracting, so it's pulling the bottom layers, which are still warm on the bed. And so if there's room, if you make space in your model for it to contract, it won't pull as much, apparently. And there's also other strategies too, like you can round your corners, chamfer your corners, which gives more adhesion, points of adhesion in the corners. But if you just do a straight corner like mine, like this, there's not a lot there. So you got to add brim in order for the brim to kind of stick to the build plate and hold the warm layers on the bottom down. Otherwise, they'll just warp up. I've seen PLA do it too. PLA can warp, but just not as often. I feel like it sticks to the build plate maybe a little bit better. I've had some warping on PET G occasionally, so. M. Steven says, I think the X2D has a heated chamber. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think I'm sure the P2S could probably handle if you dumped it up to 65, but I don't want to risk it, you know. The printers work fine. I don't want to add something that they're not designed for. It looks like the X2D is probably designed for that. It probably has some material that doesn't allow the motherboards to overheat, etc., etc. So I'm going to be cautious with mine. And I'll try to, I might just buy a printer if I have to for polycarbonate. Barry says X2D definitely does have a heated chamber. You can also get really good engineering prints out of a Key Q2 for 500 bucks. Okay. Yeah, do I want to switch to a different vendor? I don't know. I recommend you check out, yeah, Magagoo. Yeah, I did check out their website. I've been doing a bunch of engineering stuff without brims because Magagoo is amazing. Okay, I will check that out then. Maybe that'll solve my polycarbonate problem for warping. I mean, I think I've got it down now. Now, if it would handle the warping to where I could print it like this, maybe I go back to this print, because right now I've got two separate, as you can see, they're two different colors. I've got two different parts. Now there's some advantages to this, meaning that I could make different types of shelves really easily. I don't know, you know, it's a tough call. I have to super glue the middle here again, but it's not hard. You just put a little bead of super glue and clamp it, and away you go. But I had problems with polycarbonate when I was printing it flat like this. There's a flat area to this shelf. You can kind of see it right here. And on this print here, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see here. It's kind of real rough. Like some weird things happened here. You can kind of see it, I think. But I talked to ChatGPT, got some ideas, and I added more top layers for this flat area, and then I changed to a 0.6 nozzle. I think that's what did the trick, with a wider layer width of 0.6, if I remember right, for the top layers. And now I've got this thing smooth like butter. No weird ripply issues. Even like I was doing a bunch of test prints today. That's what these are. And every time with a 0.4 nozzle, even after changing a bunch of layer settings and I mean, I got it better and better each time, but once I changed to the 0.6, everything looked great. So that's what I had to do to get that to work. And this was like the first time I did a 0.6, and this was perfect. Nice and smooth, no issues. So playing around with that, you know, polycarbonate, it's not easy to print with. This one, this white, was polycarbonate, and I printed it on face down on the build plate, and it turned out really good. I'm happy with that. But the black, not so much. So yeah, I gotta play around with this. I gotta keep working it, because this one was printed facing up, but it's got some weird lines to it. I gotta change the top configure. But then the supports were a pain to get off too. So I'm like, struggling with this one. This one's struggling. I'm struggling with this black, but I'll get there. And when I get the fire retardant PC, it may behave a little bit different because it's got this fire retardant in it. Anything with any sort of additive to these filaments, it changes the behavior quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm just preparing for when this polycarbonate comes in. It should be here tomorrow or Monday, one of the two. So yeah, white looks clean. Thanks, Barry. You don't want to switch, but the Key has a 370 nozzle. Wow, heated chamber and 120 build plate. Yeah, the Bamboo, the max build plate is a 110. I think even on the H series, it's 110, I believe. It's low-key better than my H2C for PC nylons. H2C is very good, though, just lots of money. Now you got me thinking, maybe I want to look at this Key Q2. Q2, let's check that out. Q2 3D printer. That's a nice little unit. Yeah, I don't need, you know, here's the thing, like, how many nozzles does this have? Let's see here. Just one nozzle, I assume. I don't know, maybe it's something I should look into though. I mean, it's like $500 versus $2,000 just to, you know, solve a problem. I mean, I do like the idea of the H2C for having separate materials for support. I don't know, I got a lot to think about. I'm not going to pull the trigger anytime soon because I'm going on vacation, so I can't ship anything here. I won't be here, so I need to think about it. That's what I'll do on vacation. Think about what printer I want next. One nozzle and the QD AMS is annoying. Okay, yeah, that is one thing that is very convenient about the Bamboo ecosystem. The AMS works like a charm, and I'd like to stick with the same app, right? So then I'd have 3 printers in my app, be able to, you know, watch them live through the app, all through one app. So that's something. There's something to be said about that. The H2 is better all around for sure, but if you want a cheap engineering machine, QD every day. Okay. Good to know. You know what I need is to email them and say, hey, do you want me to do a review on your QD Q2? Somebody recommended it on my channel. I did get one company to reach out. It was the, what was it? No, I can't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. It was some, I think it's a pretty popular brand on Amazon. It was one of those Amazon 3D printers. I'm not going to try to find it, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. Here, I need to start a print, though. I need to start. Come on, you know, Bamboo Studio, I sometimes have to crash it out, force quit it, because I think my memory on my laptop is just, it's been going bad these days. I've just been too many tabs open. All right, I think I'm going to go back to, oh, my Wi-Fi is like not connected down here. That's weird. Come on. I need to go back. I need to switch back to a 0.4 millimeter nozzle because I'm kind of done with the wood filament for now. I don't know, Barry, if you haven't seen, this is the rosewood material. Rosewood wood-filled filament. I printed one of my suction cup shelves on it. Not a huge fan of it. It's got a decent texture, but I don't think I would sell a product with this brown. I'd have to have something that would match probably somebody's decor, some wood lifestyle decor, but it kind of looks similar to just brown PLA if you ask me. But yeah, I'm going to switch back over the 4 here. I don't know if that really, yeah, the 0.4 looks a little bit better, I think, for some of these prints. Actually, I'm going to home this guy. I can never change the nozzle back there. It's just like too much of a pain. I'll just wait for that to finish. Yeah. So hopefully everyone's week went really well. What brand filament? Bamboo. The Bamboo wood infused filament. I've been really into the OVV 3D wood filled. Somebody mentioned that they have the most wood in them. Oh, really? Do you have any issues with like nozzles clogging? They smell like wood and actually take a stain. Oh, interesting. Show off the server rack? Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. So I've got up here, let me switch over here. So I've got just the, the cable, I forget what you call this thing, where the cable comes out, And then I've got a, let's see here, 24 port PoE switch. It's got, I think, 300 watts of power. And then I've got a Synology 820 Plus. And then this was a company I used to work for, a startup company, HRS Control. This is a super micro machine that we used to sell. We used to ship software on it. And then I've got a power supply down here, and then some products here that I'm working on. And then I got a computer back here. It's kind of a mess. And then a light, just so I can see what I'm doing. So yeah, I've got a few more bays I could fill up. I just haven't gotten around to like thinking about things I would maybe need or something. I've got enough compute in there. I've got 40 gigs of, 40 terabytes of hard drives in the Synology, but I'm only using three drives for RAID 5, which is about 28 terabytes. And I've still got, I think, probably 12 terabytes left, maybe 14 of capacity left. So I'm not even close to filling it up. Now the YouTube channel definitely takes up a lot of space. I mean, my lives I don't download or anything or record, but my regular videos, it's starting to take up some space. So yeah, let's change off this nozzle. Get it back to a 0.4. And I do like the fact that this is really easy to change out on Bamboo's printers. That's another benefit probably to Bamboo. I'm sure it's probably not too difficult on other printers to change out a nozzle, but I'm used to what I got, you know. Now Barry, if you're still on, you got a Kitty and you got an H2C. What, is that all you got? Well, how many printers you got, man? You're rolling with the printers. All right, there. For some reason, this tool head the cable keeps getting stuck in where the magnets connect. All right, there we go. Just checking to see if not too much glue on there. All right, let's start a print. Yeah, I need to get some pink. I need to print each one of these shelves so I can take new photos. Fellow networking guru, yeah. I do a lot of networking for my job. Some of those devices in there, I control over TCP, UDP, WebSocket, RS-232 for a non-networked system. So I write a lot of software that sends binary data, JSON data over to those products. So I do a lot of networking here and there, which can get annoying sometimes. I'm not a networking guru by any means, but I know how to, do some static IPs and reserve IPs on a router and all that. But I don't know, I'm not too good at making VLANs and all that. The people in my business know how to do that, but me, I'm like, hands off. I have an H2S and love it. Awesome. I let go of my, Barry says, I let go of my P2S recently. Otherwise, I have an Elegoo Centauri Carbon 1 that I keep in the garage for ABS, ASA. Awesome. Love it. That's cool. Did you sell your P2S like on Facebook Marketplace or something? Just kind of curious how that all worked out. I mean, because obviously after the X2D came out, it was kind of a bummer, seeing that come out right after I purchased the P2Ss. But it is what it is. I think I need to restart this computer. It's having some weird problems here. Because I do want to start a print here. That's probably why my computer's been having problems. I never restart my my computers. And I was dealing with some Wi-Fi networking issues, go figure. Oh great, I gotta save this as a different save as. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is totally bogged down here. Save as, there we go. Oh, the joys of compute, you know? 1 second, guys. I have a billion things open. Way too many. I'm doing YouTube. I'm doing Blender. I've even got a code window up. Which I don't code as much as I used to since I'm in a kind of a director role. That's just how it goes. You code less the more you move up. You do less of the grunt work. All right, let's just restart this bad boy. There. Jeez, I had way too many things open. I'm trying to work my way, Barry says, I'm trying to work my way out of the Bamboo ecosystem and into a more open source ecosystem. Yeah, that's cool. What made you make that decision? Was it kind of the Bamboo drama that was going on with the slicer, open source, AGPL, licensing stuff? Or was it just you were ready to try something new? Just curious. Can replace most of the H2C duties with a U1, but I've got a deposit down on a Solvol M1D and hoping it comes out good. All right, what is that? What's a Solvol M1D? Check that out. Solvol M1D. Solvol 3D. Oh, here we go. All right. That's cool. IDEX tool changing. So is that a standard for the tool head? Can you change the tool head out? 7. Okay, so there's 7 tool heads. I'm looking here. Double productivity. Oh, that's cool. So it's similar to an H2C. So it's just for 3D printing, it looks like. Let's see, how much is this thing? Just curious. It doesn't say the price here. Oh, is it like, oh, I see here. MSRP 1800, so it's similar to an H2C. Okay. That's cool, it looks real nice. You have to let us know how it goes. Let's see here. Barry says, yeah, I never wanted to get into Bamboo, but everyone convinced me they were good. Now I fell for it. Yeah, I gotcha. Brent says, made a mistake Saturday. I thought we were going to a flea market, but ended up being a toy and craft fair. Didn't make a single sale. Still no sales on Etsy. Oh, man. Maybe just Etsy isn't the right market for your product. Like, I haven't gotten a sale on any of these bathroom accessories on Etsy, only these wall plates. So it probably depends on who's shopping on Etsy in general. I mean, I think it's mostly probably females that shop on Etsy. I just know my wife used to shop on it quite a bit. She does from time to time. That's just my take on it. I mean, have you listed your stuff on eBay and really focused on eBay? I feel like eBay is more of the guy's toolbox kind of environment. You know, you can find auto parts on there. I wonder if eBay is a better market for you. Bamboos are really good. Logan Donates is right. H2S is amazing. H2C is amazing. P2S is amazing, but the gap is closing. I bet you it is. You know, companies aren't just going to sit by and let Bamboo take all the market share. You know, they're going to try to catch up, no doubt. All right, let me get this Bamboo. What is? I swear, you know, they put all sorts of like, you know, features on these Macs and all this stuff, and it just really annoys me. Let's see here. Surface. Oh, there it is. Okay. I need to change my... I don't know with the software if you can change the nozzle size in Bamboo Studio yet. I don't think so. I'm going to change it here back to 0.4. There we go. I always forget to do that. You know, I'll change the nozzle size out and I'll go all the way upstairs and totally forget, and then I got to come all the way back down. It's kind of annoying. I wish you could do it from the software, like, hey, I changed the nozzle size. It's all good. Okay. All right, let's... Okay, having some computer problems. This is annoying. It's because I just rebooted. You gotta, like... I have all my slicer files on my NAS, and so I gotta go in the folder before Bamboo will recognize it and be able to open the file. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, let's sync info, sync all filaments, synchronize now. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm on the wrong printer. Oops. I'm trying to dedicate my printers to one to the wall plates, one to the bathroom accessories. So kind of what my strategy is right now. Because I was just kind of going between all of them. It's kind of getting annoying. All right, let's see here. All right, let's print this pink one. Slice the plate. There we go. All right, cool. I do want to give a second effort for this product. I just haven't really put a whole lot of effort into it. Now I'm getting a lot of, you know, customers on Etsy for these wall plates, and I'm shipping out my catalog. So I'm hoping if I put a little more effort into these bathroom accessories that I'll get some follow-up sales from existing customers, which they obviously are looking for, you know, organization. They're buying these wall plate shelves. So maybe if I make, you know, this a little bit deeper and a little more value and show some photos with the modules, maybe I could start selling some of these, but we'll see. It's not easy. Let's see here. Logan Donate says, I'm not too experienced at the moment for 3D printing as I just got a printer to mess around with. No, hey, you got to start somewhere, right? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, some of the stuff I might be talking about, you just haven't experienced yet, but the more you play around with different filaments, the more you're going to see problems, and then you'll, you know, Google or ChatGPT information, or come to live streams and talk with people and figure out how to fix your print, you know. Now, are you doing your own modeling? Just curious. All right, Brent says, never done anything with eBay. Dude, I think eBay might be your market, honestly. If you haven't had a sale in a while and you're spending advertising money on Etsy, I'd almost pause it for now and go to eBay, list your stuff, and do advertising on eBay. See how that works out. You never know, you know. I've heard some people do really well on eBay. I think for a tool, a battery charger holder for tools, I think that might do well on eBay, to be honest. Not promoting myself, but if you need a Shopify website or anything related to software, I build them. And don't charge an arm and a leg, which helps expand your reach, and you don't rely on one platform. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm all for people promoting what they do. I don't need that necessarily for myself personally. I do write code, but I use Shopify for... Uh-oh. What's that noise? Hold on. I got a problem here. I don't like the sound of that. I'm going to stop. What is that? That was weird. Did this filament get unloaded? No, it didn't get unloaded. Probably, maybe another reason why this wood filament ain't the way to go. Let me see here. I'm going to unload this. Unless, did I print it with this? I don't think so. It was... No, I didn't print with that. No, it says the pink was loaded, but I think... Oh, maybe it is unloaded. Never mind. I don't know what is going on there. That was definitely weird. I'll just look here, see if... Maybe I didn't get the nozzle in. Probably. Here, let me set you guys down here for a sec. Maybe I just didn't get that nozzle in right. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Nope, it wasn't in right. User error. Now I need to unload that. Well, let's try this. Let's see if I can unload this thing without the nozzle in. AMS, unload. Well, there you go, guys. That's what happens if you don't get this in right. Thought it was in right. Now there goes the piece of filament. I cut it. That's good. It was probably because there was just a little tiny bit up here. I didn't get it in right. All right, that's good. All right, let's see if I can get this in right. You guys are probably laughing at me. Look at this guy trying to set up his printer. He's screwing it all up. It happens. Come on. There. Can't get this little gasket on without it being in front of the, yeah, that was the problem most likely. There, okay. There you go. You hear something weird? Stop your printer. Okay. Let's try that again. Cache. There we go. All right, hopefully I don't hear that sound again. That didn't sound good. There you go. Real world experience, right guys? Hey, what's up Irene? How you doing? I was just fixing a problem here. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to the chat. Let's see here. Okay. Barry says, I used to do SEO and it is still very much a thing on Etsy. And it's a skill most don't even know to try to master. Yeah, SEO is not easy. I really need to go back into my listings and just take another look at my SEO in general. Logan says, I'm looking to launch a 3D printing thing on the side, but don't especially know what products to offer. I'll tell you your answer. At least from my perspective and what other 3D printer YouTubers say. This guy, Chris, off the bench, he'll say the same thing. Create your own products, do your own 3D modeling, and make something that solves a problem. You know, find a problem in your house and try that, right? I don't know if you have a wife or if you have kids, you know, if they're complaining about something and you make a solution for that, that might be something that you can sell, you know? So that'd be my advice. So let's see here. Sounds like an extruder jam. Yeah, it was just the nozzle wasn't installed properly. Check and make sure it spins in the AMS. Yeah. Brent says, Logan, what do you charge to help with an Etsy shop? There you go, Logan. Hey, you got to run. Hey, thanks, Barry. I appreciate your time, man. And thanks for the advice, too, on that printer, man. Good luck on that new one that you're getting. That's awesome. Logan says, I haven't done Etsy shops yet, but would love to experiment. What are you needing? Sorry for talking talking so much. No, 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 you're fine, Barry. Take as much time as you want to talk. That's what this is for, live streams, man. See, Brent goes, have it all set up, but just not getting any sales. Don't know if it looks bad or something. I'm a former truck driver, now a disabled farmer. Okay. What's your Etsy shop name? Hot Shots Designs and Solutions. All right, I'm going to take a look too. We're going to give you some criticism, okay? It's all good, Brent. We got to help each other here. All right, let me find it. No, I won't put it on the screen here, but I'm going to just check it out myself. Oops. Oh, come on. Copy. Paste. Okay. I gotta find the Etsy. Don't worry, I'm not gonna give away any info either. Man, it's so hot. It's so hard to find stuff. Maybe I gotta go to Etsy to find it. I did list 2 items today, so that's a good thing. Listing new items always takes time. Let's see here. Hot Shots Designs. Let's check this out. Oh, I can't even find it, man. That's the problem too with like search engines. It's hard to find what you're looking for sometimes. Oh, designs and solutions. Okay, there's and solutions there. Yeah, I still can't find it. Let me just try to use that name. Oh, maybe that's it. No. I have to find do you have a product name, Brent? Then maybe I could search by that. Maybe I'll just search it's battery something charger, battery charger holder. Man, there's a lot of them. Looking to see if I can find yours. Never eat. See, that's the thing, man. There's just so, and that could be part of the problem too, is there's a lot of, this is a competitive space, that's for sure. I'll keep searching and try to find your Etsy shop. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Milwaukee charger with 6 M18 batteries mount. Okay. Let's see if I can find that. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So, all right, I'm just going to give you a first impression thought compared with the other ones. So when I look at this JD and 3 Designs, I see just a battery charger. With yours, maybe I'm not familiar with it, but there's a lot going on there. Oh, you have like 4 batteries connected to this, as well as like a charger. But there's like other stuff in the background. Yeah, you got to get all the stuff that's in the background out of the way. It's distracting. That's my first impression for you, Brent. Is get rid of all that stuff in the background. You got your light box, which will probably help. But does that mount to a wall? Yeah, the photo there, the first photo, the main photo is tricky. Let me see here. The second photo is very clean. I know what it is. I see what it is. Second, third is good. Yeah, you don't need it up against a 3D printer either. I wouldn't even do that. don't make it out to be a 3D printed product. Just focus on the product itself. You should mount that to a wall, and I think it mounts to a wall, right? Built-in washers for easy mounting. Cool. That's nice. You got them built in. That's pretty cool. I think you need more in your description too. Okay. Take one of these photos and pump it into ChatGPT. Upload it to ChatGPT and say, can you give me a thorough description of this product? I mean, give it some context to what it holds, what it does, and it'll give you a real rich, detailed description. And then get better photos. Okay, your main photo is too distracting. You got too much stuff going around on it. It's pretty impressive engineering, if you ask me. Yeah, you got to get rid of all the other crap and just focus on the product, because it's pretty good if you can get like a. I know it's probably hard to get a good, clean photo. I see you've mounted it to a what do you call this? A shelf, essentially, which is fine. But you got to make it clean. Nothing in the background on that shelf. Maybe take a 45-degree angle too. I think straight on, it might be kind of like a little confused. Here's the other thing I would do, Brent. Is you have right now, you have 3 batteries mounted on the main photo. Just do 1. All you need is 1, because people can figure out the other 5. You want to show the product on the main photo with the empty slots so that people know, oh, hey, there's 5 battery or 6 battery slots available. 6, I think it is. Just have 1 battery. Make sure the battery's nice and clean too. But yeah, this is cool. That's cool. Let me just check out what else you got on your site. Check out your other products. Oh, it looks like, okay, so you have another product here that has a different photo with no batteries on it. And then you got the carrier, which, see, the carrier is clean. I recognize what that is. Ooh, the bucket thing is cool. I like the bucket battery holder. That's neat. Yeah, just work on product photography, man. Like, keep optimizing that, man. I think you got good stuff going on here. Maybe it's just the first one I hit, the $40 one, the one that's got like 3 batteries attached. I think that you could just do a cleaner photo there. It looks like you've done a second one. Is this a different product? Oh, it's a little different, yeah. The top's got some different stuff going on there. Yeah, just keep working on it, Brent. I think you can do better, you know. Sorry, I'm don't take anything personally. This is just me, first impressions, you know. Let's see here. So yeah, mounts to a wall or anything really. Yeah, like shelving. Exactly. I can't find it. You could try to using ChatGPT, upload the photo, send the prompt, give me a professional photo optimized for a listing on Etsy. Yeah, Logan, you're right. You could have ChatGPT optimize your photo and it'll make it look realistic too. Like, it's pretty good about that. But just try yourself, Brent. Just get some cleaner photos. I think it shouldn't take you very long, you know. Have your wife help you set up a cleaner photo. Get rid of some stuff in the background. Just focus on the product. Don't have anything else included. No bamboo, no filament, no nothing. Just the product. That's all that matters. So let's see here. Don't want to mount it on a wall in the apartment. Have to go out to the farm. Yeah, you're just going to have to spend some time out there. Clean up the shelf or the wall, wherever you're going to mount this thing, and get a zoomed in, good close-up of the product. And yeah, just spend more time on it. You'll get better photos, no doubt. Thanks, everyone. I took notes. No worry. Yeah. Here's the thing, too. Like, you don't want to stress about that stuff because you can always make it better tomorrow. It's not like you need the perfect photo today. It's just if you spend that time in the future, you will hopefully get better traction, right? And there's always tomorrow. You know, it's not like the market is closing tomorrow. Etsy will be open tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. You can always improve. That's the way I look at things. So, all right, here we go. Now, it looks like our printer is fixed. Yeah, I just didn't get that nozzle on just perfectly. I must not have just noticed it or something. Over here, the only thing I can really do here, I'm still working on this polycarbonate here. I want to attempt, I think I'm going to attempt another print and flip it to where the product is, the face is facing up, because I don't think I'm really happy with how this turned out. Gotta keep working the problem. The problem is these supports. Ugh. I gotta think about this a little bit more. They come off easily for the white. You know what? Maybe I'll change it to grid. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's see. Prepare. Maybe I'll do this later. I might have to think about this a little more. I gotta focus, you know. You can't focus when you're on the live stream. It's one of those things, like, I can't do two things at once, you know. So how do you go about designing your models? Brent says, I use Fusion 360, just have problems that need fixing or friends call and I make them. That's awesome, man. That is the best way to learn, is just real world problems. And I think that's a great way to learn, and great way to do 3D printing, is just model for people that need stuff that needs to be fixed. That's the best way to do it. You know, I keep all these little test prints because I debate whether or not I'm going to do a video with these, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So, one of those things. These are all just throwaways that I've got. Just testing prints. Unfortunately, some of it's going to be a throwaway. I got to clean up this mess, man. This is a hot mess. Whenever I get busy, my workshop gets real messy. But it is a good place to work. I am pretty happy with how it turned out. So, yeah, I should look into maybe getting away from Blender someday. I don't know. I think once you get used to a 3D modeling software, you just kind of stick with it. I need to try Claude Desktop and integrate it with Blender, just to see, like, play around with AI and putting the AI, like, in charge of not in charge of the model, but trying to enhance the model and see what it does. You know, it'd be kind of interesting, I think. But yeah, now that I've got all my products listed. I also changed the strategy, Brent and Logan, that instead of here, I'll show you these products. I'm not trying to promote these products. I'm just giving you my reasons of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So before, I was selling these little brush surface mounts for $9.99 on Etsy. No traction, but search just wasn't there either. It's not like people are searching for these. So instead of $9.99 for one, I think that's probably too expensive for this, just from a value perspective. So now I'm doing two for $14.99. So you get two, you got two brushes. I'll just package two of them up, and we'll see what happens if I can get some traction there. I think that's pretty reasonable. It's, you know, it's relatively cost effective for me to sell these. So they're easy to print. I can print 10 at a time. Just got a little bit of post-processing with the suction cup. So I figured two for 15 bucks, you know. So maybe you buy a wall plate, you throw a $15 add-on on, you get 2 additional little suction cup things for your mirrors. So I'm doing that with, I've got these headband suction cup holders. I'm going to do 2 as well for this, 2 for $14.99. And then, so I had a decision to make here. So I've got this clip. Let me see if you can kind of see there. This dual clip thing for hair clips and hair ties. My daughter's got like a bunch of these stuck on her mirror. So does my wife. She likes it. So I've got the dual here. I also made a quad, a 4-prong, but I had problems with these printing, and I figure, you know what? Why not just to offer 2 for the $14.99? Now it solves the quad issue, and this just becomes a deprecated product idea. So not everything is going to be a reality. And to be honest, I don't know if any of these products I'm going to continue selling. We'll see if I can get any sales on Etsy. So that's the plan. I'm just going to do the same pricing for all the products, 2 for $14.99. I think that works. So I definitely need to get my module for my Osmo 3. Let's see here. I will try that Claude with Blender. I forgot they had the integration. Yeah, it's called a Model Context Protocol, MCP. So Blender has it. Unreal Engine, the video game software that video game developers use. Now it has an MCP connected to Claude. You can talk to Claude and it'll like generate your Unreal Engine environment. I don't know what that means because I'm not a gamer developer, but I think it's pretty powerful, and it's only going to get better and better and better, so it might help. Now the only thing you should be careful about is you want to learn some general fundamentals about Blender, use it for quite a bit, and then go to town with Claude AI and see what it can do. Because then if it can build you something interesting and you know how to use Blender, you can make modifications to it without the AI hallucinating, because it's going to make mistakes, no doubt, right? And it's going to cost you tokens. It's going to cost you dollars to be able to make requests like that. So, but I don't have a Claude account, or do I? No, I don't. I use ChatGPT. It does everything I need it to, but I've heard great things about Claude, so maybe I need to consider that. So, yeah, I'm going to do a video on this, the whole splitting of this product. I've modeled everything. Now I just need to get these prints dialed in. Just polycarbonate is a pain. It is not easy, that's for sure. So I got to take new photos of this and really try to promote this product a little more. Take a look at the tags and keywords, because I like this. I still like this product. My wife's had one of these up for months, and so has my daughter. They stick all their cosmetics on here. My son has his with his toothbrush hooked up, and they work great. So I'm glad I'm expanding this shelf, making it deeper, and yeah, maybe I'll get some sales out of this thing. Who knows? But, I don't stress about this stuff because I'm definitely not depending on this for income. Again, it's a side hustle. It's for fun. I'm learning a lot. I'm making new friends online. I make way more money in the stock market. Let's put it that way. That's where I put a decent amount of effort. Not continuously all day, but I'm paying attention. I have probably 30 stocks I look at that I'm looking to take a position in, and I just wait, and I wait, and I wait for opportunities. I sold like a ton of puts the last 2 weeks on ServiceNow. Now, a lot of people are like skeptical, like, oh, these software companies are going to get beat out by Claude AI. No, they're not. Like, that's just like a joke. I mean, maybe in 10 years they might, but in the short term, these companies are still going to rake in the profits. So I sold some puts on ServiceNow last week. Should make some decent money on that over the next 2 months. And then this is not financial advice too by any means. Just telling you what I've done. And then I'm looking at Netflix. You know, Netflix dropped under $80 a share. I've got 100 shares of Netflix at 85, so I'm down a little bit. I think I might add to that Netflix position and maybe start building a position into that company. They're still the kings of streaming, and it's still a good, healthy, strong company, and it's probably going to grow over time. So I might end up adding to that position. We'll see. So that's where I make most of my money on the side, is through the stock market. I do it mostly through the 401k or through my IRA, all pre-tax. So I don't get taxed on any of these moves I'm making until I turn whatever 59 or 72 when you're forced to get taxed on these positions. I don't make as much in my after-tax account. I don't have as much money in there, but someday I will. But every little bit counts, you know. That's why I'm still pushing hard on the 3D printing business. I've heard people on my channel in the live stream say they've sold $100,000 a year on Etsy. Same thing with this other guy. He makes these movie props, and he's making like $80,000 in revenue a year with Etsy. No advertisements. So, you know, the possibilities there to make a business out of 3D printing. It's just you got to work hard at it. You got to keep hustling, you know. Logan says, hopefully your name's Logan. I'm just going with what I'm seeing on the screen name. Yeah, I've used Blender some, and I use AI in every aspect of my business. I pay too much for AI subscriptions, but it's worth it. Yeah, same here. I use my company's card for ChatGPT. That's why I'm on ChatGPT. They do use Claude, which maybe I'll go to. I don't know. I don't want to just boot one up just for fun. If I'm already using one that I'm proficient with, I don't feel like I really have the need to switch to it. ChatGPT, I think, is still pretty good. That's just my take on things. So, but I am going to be exploring Claude, and I probably will get the $200 premium subscription because I'm pitching a project with my company to build an MCP server. So I'm going to build my own MCP server for the software that we integrate with, and so I'll probably need the $200 subscription a month. I've already budgeted in my project plan for that. I'm pretty sure it'll get approved. It's a very lightweight budget, and it'll be done mostly with AI using Claude, or maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll just use Claude to code the whole thing, to code my own MCP server. That's probably what I'll do. I still enjoy coding. It's just different now because you really need to get into architecture because the coding part is easy now with AI. So you gotta pitch, you gotta sell, you gotta be a business person. You know, being just a tech geek in the cubicle is not enough. You gotta be a business person. That's the way I look at it. Unless you're like a genius software developer, which I am not. I know how to get around. I know how to make things work. I know how to put things together, integrate software together. But I'm not like a super duper high-tech architect, if that makes sense. Like somebody who knows every aspect about the software. I don't need to anymore. I can just ChatGPT it, you know. I don't need to know every aspect of the software. I need to know enough to know if the AI is screwing up the code, you know. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Let's see here. It has a 3D configurator on it that I made. I don't know what 3D configurator on it. Are you talking about Blender? And now that thing's humming real good. So you made something that has a 3D configurator on it. Okay. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Have you tried, you haven't tried Pet G yet. You should try that too. Oh, okay. Oh, on your website. Okay, I missed that. Okay. So are you trying to build your side business and offer like 3D printing solutions on your website? That'd be kind of cool. It's interesting. It's good to know like coding, tech in general with these 3D printers. I think you can do a lot with that. And this guy, Chris at Off the Bench, that's his 3D printing channel. I think he's pretty tech savvy too. He doesn't code anything, but he's fairly tech savvy and he's using Claude to automate his whole business. So it's pretty cool to see that. My main business is AI automation, software dev / websites. Oh, that's cool. Hey, maybe we can keep in touch or something, because I might want to hire some contractors to help us with AI stuff, you know? We'll see. I'm trying to make a side gig of 3D printing. Yeah. I think you probably have the skills to do it all. You just gotta, you've already got the AI handled. You already said you would upload a photo to optimize your photos. I do the same thing. It depends on the market, you know. I think just having a plain image of the product on Etsy buyers, that market, they don't need an AI fluff crazy image. I think that's more for like Facebook, Instagram type of folks. But for Etsy, they just need the product on the wall or product sitting on your table or whatever it is that it does. Standalone, good photo of it, you'll be able to sell on Etsy. So I can send my details or something. Yeah, for sure. Let me write. Let me pull up a little notepad here. I'll just write it down. I'll just write it down, old school. Let me find some paper in here, because I'll just write down your screen name, and then because if you don't know, in YouTube land, you can do a. I'll just type it. I can't find any paper. Here, let me do a new notepad here. If you don't know, in YouTube land, you can do direct messaging now, but it's more of like you have to invite someone to do that. So I got your screen name down. Yeah, I don't have any project approved yet, but I'm going to be pitching it to my boss next week. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll probably be approved, and then I can start figuring out how to get personnel involved, you know, find out what we're really building, how to automate it, et cetera, et cetera. But AI is everything, you know. If you know AI, you got some value there. That's what companies are looking for. I agree. If you adjust the prompt to something like give proper lighting and clean photo or something, yeah, exactly. Like, you gotta know how to prompt the AI properly. You know, I've taken a photo of my product in the light box back there at a certain angle, and then I'll alpha channel it or put white background, and it'll know. I'll tell the AI, hey, place this product on the wall with a feminine themed bathroom scene, and it'll do it perfectly. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I've done videos talking about it. In my live streams, I've talked about it and showed people it. Here, I'll pull one up. We'll just revisit it. If I can find one of these here. Let's go to my shop. It's getting late, I'm yawning. All right, let's pull up one of these. Yeah, like this one here. All right, here we go. Here, I'll show you. Now, I'm not selling these red wall plates anymore, but yeah, so that's a real photo of the actual plate with my modules and the sunglasses. The AI didn't touch those. But I simply said, hey, just build me a tool workshop red and black theme and give me some bullets and some, you know, nice little wording over here that describes the product a little bit. And it does a great job, honestly. Like, I'm really happy with that. I don't know if it is really helpful for the Etsy market. It's really hard to say because, again, they're different buyers. You know, different markets have different buyers. So I'm sure it's probably good for some people who like looking at the details, but some people just like the plain photo. They click buy and away they go. I don't even know if most people even look at your shop. They may click on the ad, like it, click buy, impulse buy, and they don't even look at anything else. So it's hard to say what people do. I'm sure I've done it too. You know, impulse bought something in the past, but I tend to look at details to know what I'm buying. But I did increase prices. I was at $19.99, but now that I'm going to fire retardant material, which I'm still trying to figure out how to source at a decent volume. So I went from $19.99 to $22.99, $3, which should cover the increase in filament cost for this fire retardant material. But if I can print this in polycarbonate, I can buy 10 kilograms at a time for $22 a kilogram versus $29 for PCTG, which is what I was at. But then this PLA fire retardant is $35 a kilogram. And then the ABS is $44 a kilogram. However, I was able to find the same ABS fire retardant on AliExpress, and it comes from the US. There's somebody else selling it. I can only buy 1 kilogram at a time, but I can buy it for like 23, 25 bucks a kilogram. So I'm just going to buy a bunch from AliExpress, and it's the same stuff. I'll test it to make sure. I'll do a flame test on it, but I'm pretty sure it's the same stuff. It's Sunlu ABS fire retardant. Maybe they're selling it. I don't know. But I ordered one. It came here perfectly fine. It's got Sunlu branded everything, and Sunlu's from China, so maybe they're selling it to some of their partners, you know, on AliExpress. Who knows? Let's see. I agree. If you just sorry, Tulsa says, "Damn, I always seem to get in here late." Yeah, no problem. You know, I seem to be staying late. Have you checked out Numb Makers? I don't know if I did. I don't think so. King Rune might make some. Okay, is that a brand for filament? King Rune. I'll check that out. King Rune. Okay, that's a filament. Okay. King Rune 3D. I'll check them out. I've never been here, I don't think. Let me see what they got. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have fire retardant. But they got a good selection, and they got good bulk volume as well, which is nice. Like Pet G Basic White 129. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll put this on my favorites right now. 3D printer filaments. Cool. Awesome. Thanks for the link there. They have really good pricing and have configs publicly available. Oh yeah, for the filament? Awesome. New Makers filament. I'll check them out too. Let's see. New Makers. Alright, I've never been here either. Pet G carbon fiber. Alright. Let's see what else they got here. Their PLA is 18 bucks. Alright, that's pretty good. 18 kilograms, you can get it for 13 bucks. Let's see what else they got here. PLA wood. Looks like they got ABS. ABS and ASA. They don't have any fire retardant. Yeah, see, this fire retardant stuff is it's few and far between. Let's put it that way. Like I found some from this. I found some PLA fire retardant. A lot of them are in Europe. I've seen some European filament makers. Sunlu has 2 of them in ABS. Elegoo has polycarbonate in fire retardant. And I've seen a few other ones here and there, but they're few and far between, like I said, and the colors are limited. Definitely not, I'm not offering red and pink like I was before. I'm only offering black, white, and almond. So whatever I can find. But I can get the PLA for 35 bucks, and I can still make some money with that. It's not the end of the world. But I want to get them for $22 a kilogram. So I'm going to buy 10 kilograms, spend like 250 bucks on it, and go from there. M. Steven says, showing my age here, I started as a software engineer in the early 1980s. Wow. Listening to you discuss the AI technology makes me wish I had kept up the technology. I've been retired for more than 10 years. Hey, if you're retired, that's all good. I don't know if I'd want to get back into tech after being retired. However, if you enjoy software, having the AI, you just vibe code it, man. You just, get your sunglasses on, have a little drink, a little cocktail, and just tell it what you want it to do. And it just codes everything. It's unbelievable. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are times when I'll go back and there might be an issue with some of the coding, but it's so good now. Like, it can just generate your whole, anything you want, any feature you want, it'll figure it out. Let's put it that way. Early 1980s, what were you on? I used to work at Pfizer years ago, and we were working on an AS400. I can't remember the programming language they used there. I don't remember what it was called. It wasn't Fortran. Whatever IBM's programming language was. It wasn't COBOL either. But I remember seeing guys there that had been there from the 80s working on this mainframe software. It took them forever to compile this stuff too. Wonder if Overture has any. You know what? I just bought some Overture filament. I should check them. I bought some Overture brown PLA for my daughter. She was making me something for Father's Day. She's been printing for like weeks on her X Maker. I don't know what she's making me. We'll see. It's probably a lot of little trinkets and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. Overture 3D. Let's see what they got. Oh, they got nylon. That's cool. They got PC Professional. Okay, Polycarbonate Professional. $26.99. That's not bad. They got gradients. A couple good gradients here. This ain't bad. Easy nylon. I wonder what it is. Nylon 12 or 6. I wonder if it says what it is. Let's see here. I've printed with I've got nylon 12 here. It's not too bad to print with. It's doable. Yeah, it doesn't say which version this is, but that's cool. I'm sure if you dig deeper, you could probably figure out which one it is. Nylon 12 or 6. The 6 is a pain to print with. I've never printed with it, but it gets wet like instantly. You got to keep it heated in your like HT unit while you feed it into the printer manually because it's so brittle. But there are people who print with it. You can get into, government stuff, industrial stuff. I'm kind of liking Overture's lineup here. They've got some decent stuff. Let me see their TPU. 95A, all 95A. A little bit of ABS. Let me see if they got different colors. Hey, they got a lot of colors here too. That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to definitely have Overture in my hit list of filaments. I started my career coding in assembler, yes. I coded in COBOL and Fortran and on IBM and Western Digital mainframes. Yeah, what is the programming language on the IBMs? You got to remind me what. I'm just gonna Google it. I can't remember what it was called. What is the programming language for AS400? Is what the mainframe was. RPG, yes, that's it. Report Program Generator. Yeah, RPG something. Yes, RPG ILE is what it was. I remember seeing it on the green screen, you know, they'd tab through all this stuff. And then all the, it was a supply chain program. So all the supply chain specialists, they loved tabbing through. They hated GUI drop-down mouse keyboard. They always liked just straight keyboard, no mouse. Which it is faster. If you see them going through a mainframe program, it's a lot more efficient than these software that today. Trying to give options for cheaper filament. Yeah, but still good filament. Yeah. Form Futura is a recommendation for filament by Claude. I think I've been to theirs. Form Futura. I'll check them out too. But again, if I can get PC printed properly at $22 a kilogram, this is a feasible business in a sense. Like I can make some money on it if I can get volume, but I'm only selling one a week. It's nothing to ride home about. It's better than nothing. I'm not complaining. But one wall plate a week is not going to change my life. Let's put it that way. Yeah, they do have a lot more. Form Futura. Let's see if they got ABS fire retardant. But this is in European euros. So like, where do they ship from? Because if I have to go through customs and pay VAT, then I'm toast. They have ABS Pro flame retardant here, but it's in 500 grams, out of stock. Let me see what the price is. 2.3 kilograms for 128 euros. Yeah, that's like way out of my price range. What kind of products are people making and selling for for $30 for 500 grams? That's $60 a kilogram. Like, what products are they making? They got to be very niche, very high margin products to be able to afford that. RGB was a popular IBM language. We called it rapidly generated garbage. Yeah, exactly. That should have been rapidly. Okay. Hey, rapidly would work too. Rapidly generated garbage. I'll tell you what though, the engineers that worked on that that software, I know it was in the pharmaceutical industry, so you can't make a lot of changes, but it would take them forever to make one minor change. It's just what it was back then, I guess. Tulsa says, yeah, I wish I could come up with something to sell or even print for our company. Would be nice. Not trying to get rich, but would like to get by. Yeah. Like I said earlier, you might have missed earlier in the stream. Excuse me. You just got to come up with something useful. You know, something useful. Now, if you're going to sell to businesses, that's hard because you're not in their domain. You don't know what they need unless you have insider information, right? You got to figure out how to get inside some sort of company that, you know, maybe it's industrial or commercial, that has a problem, and you got to figure out how to solve it with plastic, right? So I'll tell you what, you know, if I can get dialed in on PC fire retardant, I have a lot of options there, because fire retardant is pretty important in commercial and in industrial. So that's why I'm kind of excited about moving to this fire retardant material, because it kind of gives me a unique position in the 3D printing market. There's not a lot of people probably dealing with this fire retardant material, but you know, maybe even attending trade shows, like industrial trade shows or commercial trade shows in a certain market. Maybe it's medical, maybe it's you know, even data centers. Attend a trade show, go walk booth to booth, have conversations, see what people need, get some business contacts and email them, pick their brains, and maybe they'll give you an idea of what to make, and then you can send them some sample prints, and then maybe they'll say, hey, I like what you're doing, let's try to make a product and put it in our factory, right? I would guess B2B printing for specific products that require those specs. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm working with my dad's company. I am a vendor with this. It's a publicly traded company. They do automotive rail lines. So like when the cars are going down the line, there's these huge I-beams that hold all these ergonomic robots, right? Robots that make the cars, kind of thing. And humans interact with them as well. But my dad sent me these models, and we printed them with nylon 12 carbon fiber. And I did 2 orders with them, and then I think they got slow, and then they stopped ordering from me. It was just some R&D prototypes I did with them. But that's how I got started in this, was originally with my dad. I was just telling him, hey, I can make some stuff. Let's try this out. We did a couple prototype runs, and I should email him back, his boss back, and try to see where they're at with things, see if they could maybe come back to evaluating. I don't think they evaluated the product to see if it would even fit the tolerances or ability of this product to withstand what was going on in their product. It was an internal part inside of a bigger part, you know. So yeah, maybe I'll revisit that, but that's how you do it. You know, you got to find someone in a company, an engineer, maybe somebody who does CAD, and they work on steel or aluminum. I'm from Michigan, so I know all about this. If they're doing CAD work and they're making three-dimensional parts in aluminum or steel, that's an opportunity for you to replace it with plastic. And if you can get them to, if you can sign an NDA with a company and have them send you the STLs to print on your 3D printer, that can be some R&D opportunity for you. And I have a whole price list for my company, and I probably should revisit that and try to scale that business, the B2B, out, because it's way more lucrative, guys. I was printing each part. I can pull up my price list, but I don't feel like finding it. I was doing $30? 30 or 60. It was like $30 or $60 for, no, it was $30 for any part under 4 hours, and then $60 for any part over 4 hours. So it was double, essentially. I made like $700 with my dad's company, and it's almost all pure profit. It was like, I think I spent $100 on a couple tools and some filament, and the rest was pure profit. So that was a good start to my Tecton Creations business. So yeah, trade shows are a good idea. It'll give you ideas. It'll help you understand if that's a market you even want to be in, right? After you have some conversations, you'll be like, there's nothing here for me. You know, like, this isn't going to work. None of these people need plastic parts, right? You'll just learn about a market and then move on to a different market, right? There's all sorts of markets out there that you can explore. I'm looking at like, I probably should attend like an automation market or something like that where lots of parts are used. That's where you're going to make the money, is print in volume, lots of parts, right? Yeah, I need to follow up with that former manager and just pick his brain and see where he's at with things, you know. Because, like I said, selling one wall plate a week on Etsy after the advertising charges and after the Etsy commission and after the credit card charges this, it's like $10 a sale, you know. Is it even worth it? I don't know. It's fun. I like doing it, but, you know, not trying to burst anyone's bubble, but maybe it's just the product. You know, it could be, maybe I need to really come back to a new product, right? Something that may sell better for that market on Etsy. I don't want to sell Flexi Dragons either. It's a saturated market. How's your venting working out? I need to figure something out so I do not kill the parrots. Oh, you got parrots. Maybe running hoses like that with an inline fan out the window. I don't have a fan at the window location pulling from these tubes. I'm just still using the bamboo fans out the back. But so far, I have not smelled anything weird doing polycarbonate or ASA, or ABS, sorry. The PLA, this is probably still running at, let's see, external fan. Yeah, it's running at 30%. That's what Bamboo's defaults are for PLA, PETG, PCTG. It'll start it at 30%, and I haven't seen really any warping issues when it runs at that. But PC, it will not run, so you got to manually run it if you want to run it. I haven't been running it because I'm trying to deal with warping. And then once I fix all these issues, I'll probably start running my fans at 10%, then maybe 20%, see how things go, that kind of thing. But yeah, it does work out. Now I did get this like one-way valve that I'm going to put kind of here and here, because I have this T here, and if one printer is exhausting and the other isn't, some of that air might flow into the other printer. So this is just a one-way, you know, it'll stop the flow. This little, I don't know, flipper valve or something like that. I think it's all passive. There's no electronics here. So I might install 2 of these. I only have 1. I forgot I needed 2 because it's a two T system. So somebody told me to get one of those on, I think it was maybe a live stream or comment on the YouTube channel. That is one thing I will say about YouTube and 3D printing is you can get some nice tips as long as you're not getting any haters on your videos. I got a lot of like troll-like comments on when I was switching from PCTG to PETG to save on costs, because I didn't know there was flame retardant filaments, and so everyone was dogging on me and all that, and I felt bad, I honestly did, but it is what it is, you know. I was unaware that there were fire retardant filaments, and now I'm aware, and it is what it is. So it's what you got to do, you know, do the right thing. So good idea. So it does not flow into an unused printer. Yeah, exactly. Now I can manually turn on a printer, the fan, if it's not being used, you know, put it on like 30%. That way at least you'd have positive flow up to that vent, and you probably wouldn't get any backflow essentially into the printer. So yeah, that's why I always try to make your live streams. Always great ideas. Oh, thanks, I appreciate that, Brent. Tulsa says there's always going to be someone out there to find issues. Yeah, for sure. But some of them were good points. I mean, if people can at least come with positive, constructive feedback, not like just negative, you suck kind of thing, I'd rather have those, you know. And, you know, the liability with what I'm selling is a concern of mine, so that's a huge thing where the fire retardant reduces that liability probably 10x, right? Could these things still catch on fire? Yeah, it's plastic. But I did the test, and the fire doesn't spread with these wall plates. So, and I might actually do a real fire test using a wall plate from a store just to see what the difference is. Maybe they're worse. I don't know. But these fire retardant filaments, they work really well. So, are the commercial plates made from fire resistant materials? Yes, they are now. They weren't before. That's where I got the criticism. I've only sold a few, and I might actually send out like a replacement of the fire retardant ones. I got to finalize that. You know, maybe I'll do like a trade and make like, I don't know, a couple $100 and just ship out replacements, because I kind of want everyone to have safe products at the end of the day. So I might do a little replacement plan. I've only shipped like probably 15 wall plates, so it's not the end of the world, but I want fire retardant. So, oh, Logan, yeah, no problem. I'll send you a DM thing, and you know, we can talk. But yeah, you sent me an email. Good. I do check my email from time to time. But have a good night, man, and good luck on your 3D printing and all your AI automation going on. No, that's cool. What about you, M. Stevens? What kind of products are you printing? I forget. I can't remember. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, hopefully I can dial in these polycarbonate prints. I'm going to check my phone here, make sure my wife's not pinging me. She usually doesn't bother me on these Friday night live streams. Unless she's got an issue with the kids, you know. Sometimes you got to deal with kid issues, you know, if they're having problems sleeping or whatever. Alrighty. I could probably put my little tool. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Now, I'm not... The modules, though, I don't need to do fire retardant. I mean, this is so fire retardant up to here. If the fire were to get to here, there'd be a problem with this plate. And it's probably a bigger issue in general. So I'm still just going to print these in PCTG. I think it'll be fine. I could always test it to find out. But these are, the problem is, like, I got to figure out what material I'm going to use for fire retardant anyways. Because if I do have the PC, I might do those. I don't know. PC is hard enough. But PLA, these will crack as you take them off, but PCTG and PETG, they're perfectly fine. So, all things to consider. There we go. Yeah, I need more space in this little workshop here. So someday I'm going to figure out where to put these other Lego sets. Or I need to start throwing away some of these old prints. I did a little bit of inventory. It was a mistake I made. And I probably need to toss some of this plastic and regroup and make some more room for myself. So anyways, it was a good live stream. I enjoyed the conversation. I think I am going to call it for the night. Kind of be done before midnight. Maybe say hi to the wife. You know, it is late. But as far as live streams go, I don't know if I'll make it next Friday. I am going to be out on vacation. So I'm going to be maybe trying to make it. We'll see. You know, depends on the schedule. We don't have any plans really schedule-wise during the vacation. We're just trying to see what the plans will be. We're more kind of off the cuff kind of thing, you know. We're not trying to plan every day out, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, maybe I'll try to still jump on. Maybe it'll be earlier or later on a Friday, or it could be any time next week. I don't know. So take a look out. You know, it could be any time next week. And yeah, you have a great weekend too, Brent. And like I said, man, get out to your farm or your barn and try to take just some better photos. I think it'll do well. I think you got a great product there, and again, it could be the market. I think that eBay might be a better fit for that type of product, but you know, it looks like there is a lot of people on Etsy selling these type of products, so you might be in the right market. Just keep working on the photos, man. I think that'll do you well. Have a good one. I might rewind and watch from the beginning. Thanks, Tulsa. I appreciate it, man. All right, guys. You guys have a great night and a great weekend and a great next week, too. And, yeah, I will be putting out a video on Sunday and Tuesday still. I think I'll still be able to get 2 videos in, so be on the lookout for those, too. All right, guys. Have a great night. Later.